got a man, St. Ivan. I am terrible. The Boogie Down Bronx veteran, episode 109 of the
Nice.
Culture Show. So, yo, we overdue. Like I said, my high ass thought that we had you on or something or whatever. It was in my brain. It's overdue, but we getting it in. And I got a lot of questions. Thank you for rocking with us, man. We've been, you know what I'm saying, been vibing for a minute now. You know what I mean? Like a few years and shit. So,
yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So, appreciate you for coming through. You just dropped a new joint recently, so we're going to get into that and everything. So, everything good with you?
Everything good, man. By the grace of God, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for rocking out with me and the love you show and you support, man. I appreciate it greatly, man, for real.
Nah, man, we fucks with you, man. You know what I'm saying? And we've been on the radar for a minute and stuff. And I got some questions, just like personal, like just things I've wondered about you as far as like background and stuff like that. So I'm excited to get into it. Salute to everybody joining in. This is episode 109 of the Carry and the Culture Show. And before we get started, if you got questions for St. Ivan, please use the questions feature below. We can pull them up and see them rather than just putting them in the chat. It's a little easier. So let's jump right into it, man. So I love history. I love understanding where people are from, and because that's a big part of what makes people, right? So BX, man, take us back. Like, take me down memory lane. Little Ivan running around, boogie down. Like, so what part of first of all, part of Bronx are you from? I'm familiar with Co-op City, and I'm familiar with Fordham Road. Those are two areas I kind of, when I was out there, I was kind of up there. So where were you kind of stationed?
I'm from the southwest section, the Concourse 170, Elliott, Marcy, Walton, Townsend, White Place, the whole, 170 from the 4 train to the D train. So the D train's on the Concourse, and you got the 4 train down on Jerome. So that whole area right there, 170, basically before Mount Eden, like 172nd down to about 169th from the Concourse to Jerome. That's the section right there. So that's like the southwest section.
Okay, 40, just want to say what you said 40 to D. All right, so that puts it in perspective. So what was your BX experience growing up? You're a tiny bit older than me, but like we're from the same era stuff as far as this goes. So, being in that right there, like what was your experience like? I'm dying to hear just what was it like for you growing up, and then how you got this and everything. I don't really know that about you,
Yeah, well, I've been a participant in pretty much every facet of the hip hop culture. Which I love what you be saying. When I've been watching you for a long time, and hip hop is not just rap.
Right.
And people tend to forget that hip hop is not just rap. Hip hop consists of elements, and I happen to participate in every last one of them. Some a little bit more than others, but the most dominant parts that I participated in was, of course, as an MC and as a graffiti writer. So, being a graffiti writer, it allowed me to venture to all boroughs as an all-city graffiti writer, to go into different boroughs and be around different boroughs and meet a lot of people, different places. That time went from 89 to 97 when I stopped bombing. And I happened, to be a part of one of the most infamous graffiti crews in New York City's history, not just the Bronx, but in New York City's history, and that's KGB.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
So yo,
shout out the whole KGB mob.
So was your like for you? Because when I wrote my thing was like I was all about getting up. Like I was about like I wanted you to see my shit everywhere. Like that was just my thing. Like I didn't really get into piecing as much. And then by the time I was getting there, like I was getting arrested too much. So I said I gotta stop this shit. But like, what was it more like? Did you gravitate more towards a certain thing? Like what was your like kind of like your focus when you were out writing, as far as
a destroyer.
Okay, we're in the same.
A destroyer. I mean, I could get a little busy on paper. You know what I'm saying? Like with the piecing and stuff. There's dudes in my crew that get busy. That's super nice with the piecing. Matter of fact, starting with the Prez, near, rest in peace, near KGB. He was ill with the paint, with piecing. Else gets busy, SE gets busy, Sear, he gets busy. There's a few people that within the squad that get busy with the piecing,
right.
But everybody was just about vandalism, being a destroyer, copping tags everywhere, copping tags on buildings, on cars, on vans, on trucks, garbage trucks, damn delivery, everything. Just that's what it was about.
Yeah. And that
trying to follow suit of the legends that was already doing it and did it before us. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So as far as you doing that, like, so we had Philly legend on NM last night or Monday rather, whenever the fuck it was, Monday, and I asked him about a crazy like getaway story. You got any crazy getaway stories from back in the day?
Oh man, I got a few.
I'm sure.
Let me see.
He didn't get away.
Well,
hopefully you got one where you got away. Actually, got away.
Oh yeah, definitely got away. I was bombing with some comrades of mine from Brooklyn. With a comrade crew from Brooklyn. Shout out to ACC, GAK, and we was in Queens, and a writer, I'm not gonna say no names, but a writer, he had threw a full can on a store roof, like on a bodega roof or something. And one of my other men was like, yo, you bugging, like that's gold. Like you just threw a full rusto on a roof, like what?
Right.
So he goes up there to go get the can. So we go to the top of the train on the 7, and I come onto the tracks and I'm hanging off the side, to see that he good on the roof. And we heard the radio come, like getting closer.
Right.
And the cop had hit at this time, police was still with the batons, and he hit the baton on the rail, and he got the call. So I climbed back up and we dip. I'm running, and before the 7 train goes into, I think that's if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Hunter's Point. I could be wrong with the station. From when it comes out to the elevation and it goes back down before it goes into Grand Central, there's like a salt mine over there. And I had jumped, and when I jumped, the 2 other riders I was with, they was already ahead of me. So they was there first. I jumped, I linked with them, and at the same time I jumped, the cops was pulling in. So we had to jump back over the wall, and we run in the tunnel, and one of the dudes gets caught, and we see him get caught. So we run back from the station, going back into the tunnel, and the next train is coming in, and when the train comes in on the other side, the emergency brake is pulled. A cop comes out the train and start busting at us. Real life. Start busting. Blah, blah, blah. One of my people had got popped by the cop. I got away, and I linked up with my other man that was on the roof later on and told him. And when we was going back into Brooklyn, we heard that there was a station shut down because they was looking for us. So I don't know if they thought we was trying to rob a place or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's one of the illest stories. I was able to get away from that by the grace of God, man.
Yeah.
There's other stories, but that was like the one that like led to the decision, like, yo, I gotta stop doing this sooner. I'm gone. You know?
Nah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Mine for me was a lot quicker. You said like 89. So
no, this story right here, this took place like 92, 93.
89.
Yeah,
right? You were
started 89.
Yeah. So what were cats like? Were cats train? They weren't hitting trains 89, were they? Were they still going on a little bit?
Nah, the trains was dying out from like 87, 88.
About that time.
You would still see some trains here and there, but for the most part, it was to the streets and like the trucks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Box trucks, shit, and all that.
Yeah.
Got you. So no, that's dope. All right, so I was gonna ask you that, like, I knew you were like into writing and stuff, so I'm glad you clarified to what extent. So, like, again, like you're in the Bronx, and what you're writing and stuff like that. You're doing all elements. Like, what was, damn, like, like 15, 16 when? Like what were your teenage years like as far as growing up there in the cut of hip hop?
Man, it was a lot of stuff going on, man. 15, 16 years old. I was obsessed with bombing, like more into the graph. I was inking, like writing my raps and stuff like that, and freestyle and off the head.
Right.
But I didn't take it serious with the rap until I was like 17. That was the first recording of actual demo. But the Bronx back then, man, New York period was different. It was way different. There was still there was definitely codes and ethics and stuff like that in regards to the street and how people dealt and things of that nature. Like my generation, our generation, because we're about the same age group. Which I just turned 48 last week.
Oh, happy.
So yeah. My generation growing up, like if we was in the hallway, if we was burning one like that, and we was in the hallway, and an elder, like somebody's mom came in, like you see a scrimmage, like everybody trying to put it away out of respect. You know what I'm saying? And just to get out the way and, hey, how you doing, Miss Such and Such, or it's not the same now. These dudes will blow it down and blow smoke in your mother face and all that. Like it's different. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot more. It was a lot more morally, if I could say morally, like solid back then as opposed to right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
While there was still wild stuff going on, ill stuff,
right.
And going on ventures like Graph at that age is like you didn't get tired. Like we'll start in the Bronx and walk to the village. If anybody from New York and they know that's an ill walk from 170th Street to walk down to West 8th Street, West 3rd. But
massive.
Everybody got markers, everybody got stickers, everybody got paint, and it's a mission at the same time we walk, and it'd be fun. Like it'd be all night missions walking from there. Imagine during the quote unquote Puerto Rican Day parade on a Saturday night, we trooping down and breaking night and then walking back up to the parade, not sleeping, like up 36 hours. Hey, Boricua. You know what I'm saying? Without no care. That's how it was.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard and I've seen the changes. I mean, I'm not from New York, but I was there a lot and definitely saw the change. I've seen the changes over the years, man. I mean, in terms of just, like I said, trooping. Yeah, like, and it's funny, man. You say that. Like, I think as youngsters, we didn't give a shit about like walking. Like even my teenage daughter right now, she'll trek like. She's like, I went to wherever. I was like, you walk there? Like, fuck out of here. But, like, so we, adventurous, man. That was an adventure for y'all. Like, straight. It wasn't a walk to nowhere. That was a journey. Like, you had mad stories right out of the one night. Like, so much shit probably happened.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's a fact. Absolutely.
All right, so I wanted to get into the new album as well as, like, the point behind the new album. So the new joint, Street Evangelist, and I remember seeing a post recently from you, like doing some promo on it, and you said, I rap about God and it's hard. And I was like, okay. I was like, and it really stuck out for me. So solid project, man. But I want you to break it down for me. Because I got a bunch of questions about like just your views on God, because you also posted recently you posted a joint of Kenny Loggins. I mean, Jesus or whatever that and said something like as if this is your king or kings or something, like don't even like whatever. So
right,
break it down for me, man. Where's Saint Ivan coming from with the God, whole God thing, and just how you breaking it down and all that, man. It's real talk. So
well, there was a time, and I'm sure you could recall this, during the 90s, the late 80s, early 90s, even with the music, like the balance in music, like you had the gangster stuff, you had, the fly talk stuff, but then you had the quote unquote conscious stuff. You had the stuff trying to enlighten the people and trying to educate the people. X Clan to Brand Nubian to Cam to Paris to Ice Cube. So many groups that it was a balance. And even like the hardest dudes, like a G-Rap, he could still come with Erase the Racism. You know what I'm saying? He could still come with Don't Curse.
That's what I was saying. He was on Don't Curse.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a balance. Like nowadays is gone. In that era, those particular groups that I gravitated to, that I liked, like Public Enemy and stuff like that, it started to gravitate me to look into the direction of finding myself. Like, what's my purpose here? Like, I need to know more. Like, it can't just be this. And I started venturing. I started looking into the Nation of Islam, the 5%, the Dr. York, and I started looking, and then I gravitated more towards the Israelite movement because I believe and still believe, obviously, in the Bible. So they caught me with these teachings because there's things that's written in the Bible that are factual, that no one can negate. You can't argue it. It's there in black and white. Lets you know that God, the Father, the Creator, is black. Christ is black. It's nothing racist. I mean, it's identifying. It comes with a description. If somebody was to describe you, they're gonna say Tamal is a light-skinned, brown-skinned brother. He got such and such. Right? They're gonna give a description. If they put up an image of, like you said, Kenny Loggins, you're gonna be like, that ain't me.
That's right.
Right?
All right.
So it's the same when it comes to that word. So I found myself, gravitating to this organization because of the Bible, and I started getting deeper in it, and I started excelling, and I was in there for like 20-something years.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I left the street alone, I directly went that path. Like dudes I grew up with, cut them off. Certain family members cut them off, and it was like a shock to them. Like, yo, what the hell?
Right.
All along not knowing that I actually was in a cult. You know what I'm saying? And wound up getting entangled in that for the 2 decades or so that I was involved in it, until eventually breaking free and being able to see things for what it is. And this is where I'm at right now. So street evangelist is something I was already working on and inking, and it just felt good to let it go now, especially with the climate, with certain people talking about, Hebrews, the Negroes and stuff like that. And people want to listen to the quote unquote celebrities because they have a status, but won't listen to the poor guy, won't listen to the poor woman because they don't have that status. So I put it out kind of like a bragging right. Like, if anybody can talk about it, I can talk about it because I was in it for 20+ years, and I had probably the highest ranking position in the organization underneath the leaders of the organization. Every group that's out here calling themselves Israelites come from the group where I was a part of. That was the head group. And these different groups started to splinter off and make their own groups. And a lot of them I know, and I've seen them before, and I had interaction with them. So that's what this project was in the direction of. Like, I'm gonna give it the real. Like, you're not gonna be able to deceive the people. So it's it's personal, but at the same time, it's entertaining for those that don't know, and you get the project and you listen to it. So that's the whole premise of Street Evangelist.
Damn. Okay, so where are you at now? Like when you say the word, when you say God, like what context are you saying it? Like, and like what do you mean? Like, because now there's so many terms, like Supreme Creator. Sometimes it's a Christian God, a Judeo-Christian God, Allah, Krishna, Allah, what? Right. So like what, yeah, we're like. He's not a person. He's a light, right? I mean, it's energy. I mean, so
right.
Where are you with that?
Well, he's everything. He's all of the above. He is energy. He is the light, but he's also a he. As far as being a physical he, flesh and blood, no, he's not. He's a spirit. And you know, some people call him different names. But in reality, if you're reading the book, and when I say the book, when I reference the book, I'm talking about the scriptures. If you're reading the book, nobody knows his name. So you can't call on a name that you don't know. You can't. Nobody knows his name. Nobody. Even the name of the Son, that's not his name. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, that's not his name. If people are reading as it is written, the word tells you itself that he has a name that no one knows except he himself. The only time that name is going to be revealed is if you make it on judgment day to enter into paradise. Then you will know that name. Because the name is holy, it's pure. Holy means separated from God. So how can you know the name of God or the name of the Supreme Son and you still indulging in all kind of filth? It don't make sense. It don't add up.
Okay, so you just say, I mean, so when you reference God, I mean, you're saying
it's just a generic word or a quote unquote term for the supreme being. I'm not going to argue semantics with anybody that want to say, well, his name is Ayahayasha or such as. I'm not going to argue with that. That's neither here nor there. What are you doing for the name that you calling to acknowledge you and recognize you that you good? What are you doing? Right. So what, you know his name? Big deal, whoop-de-doo. If that's what you think his name is, but what are you doing? Yeah. Like people will brag that they know the name of God, but will still try to plot and sleep with your wife. Is that of God?
Right.
No. Yeah, that's not of God. So big deal, you know his name.
Yeah, you gotta, you know, kind of stand behind that. See, yeah, it's about the character in the end. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Exactly.
Of course. So,
but
so like,
nevertheless, not to cut you off, but with as far as the belief,
yeah,
there's no way I can get around it or avoid it because this is who I am. This is what I live. You know what I'm saying? Like music and all that is secondary to me. God is always first, right. And it's gonna reflect in what I talk about in my rhymes. Right. Now, people might have complaints about that, but you also gonna complain about listening to the shoot 'em up, bang bang, selling drugs, fly gear, all day, but you gonna get mad at me because I'm talking about God? Right. Make up your mind.
Right. I feel you. So is that God coming from like a, I guess, like Christian base? Is that the essence of it, or is it like, or is it more of a universal like thing?
Well, here's the unique thing. Here's the thing.
Generic. The name is generic.
Right.
Like,
people would attribute it to quote unquote Christianity, but nowhere in that book do you read Christ calling anybody a Christian. It was actually used as a derogatory term towards the believers that followed Christ.
Right. I ain't familiar with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a belief in Christ. He actually existed, whether people believe it or not. He actually existed. He served a purpose. He did a job, and that's who I deal with. That's who I believe.
Okay. Cool. Nah, I thank you for clearing up. It was on my mind. I'm trying to sift through it, like, because the names of the I'm very unfamiliar with the Bible, to be honest. So I'll keep it honest. So like, I mean, I'm familiar with some of the names here as far as names of tracks and stuff being like, right. You know, out of the Bible. But what was cool about this project, man, was that to me. So my take on it is this: as someone who's not Christian, I haven't really. This is like I don't know much about this area at all. I know about other areas, and so this for me was a dope project because I didn't feel like I was being preached to about anything.
Thank you.
I heard crazy bars. I heard knowledge and just wisdom. Because here's the thing, like, there's morals and values, and like to me, there's morals and values in every major religion. What people do with it after that is some fuck shit. But to me, absolutely, the essence of these philosophies are pure. I firmly believe that. I think people take it, and I get it. I understand why people are atheists. I totally fucking get it. Like me, mm-hmm. All right. But I think the essence of these things are pure. So basically, what I'm saying is like, I don't care if the wisdom is from the Bible. It's wisdom, like because it's right. It's similar because a lot of the stuff that's in here is similar to the faith that I believe in. So like there's similarities all across these shits. We take the differences and fuck it up, and that's a topic for another day. So I appreciated the fact that it was like, I mean, it made perfect sense. Street evangelist. I was like, okay, this brother's from the streets, but he's on some other shit, and he's letting you, and he's breaking down truths. He's showing like both sides of it. I saw both sides of the coin. I saw like, yeah, like this will happen if you do this. There were like tales of caution in there and stuff like that. So it's a dope project. Everybody check it out. Street evangelist. It's just wisdom for your, yeah, wisdom for your ass, man. And it's like beats are dope, and yeah.
Salute the Bop Man on the beats.
Oh, works.
Salute the Bop Man.
Producer. So yeah, I think it's, for me, that was a dope thing to see. That like it was just, I wanted to hear when you said that. It was like, I rap about God, but big up Bad Seat. I was like, I rap about God, but it's hard, and I know your background, so I was like, you know, okay, so let's see how he weaves it in. And so I was really impressed about how you wove it in. And to me, it was just like, it was dope. It was like, you know, to me, it reminded me of some like intelligent hoodlum shit, like this, some street evangelist. Like your background is your background, but like eyes are wide open now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're seeing right now. So you know, so it's different. So I appreciated that, man, for real.
No, thank you. I appreciate you recognizing that, because most people would see that, and I deliberately, the album cover is authentic. The album cover is not photoshopped. The album cover is not enhanced. The album cover is authentic. That was before social media. That was before pose for a selfie. That was before all of that. That album cover, that picture is actually from 1998.
Wow. Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I used it.
No, it's dope. It's a dope project, man. And everybody, you guys should check it out. Big up Bad Seed, real quick. Shout out to him.
Shout out to bro, Bad Seed. Salute.
You know what I'm saying? Winning awards and shit, you know what I'm saying, this year. So the album, Four Finger Ring. So
well deserved. He busts his ass. He gets busy.
Oh yeah.
That's my bro. I rock with him, man.
Yeah, he's good dude. So yeah, man, everybody check this project out. It's Street Evangelist, St. Ivan, and yeah, I fucks with it, man. So
thank you, bro.
Talk to me about this, man. Well, actually, let's stay on the hip hop for a minute. Because I asked Brother Jay this, and you were on the show, and when did hip hop go sideways? And it'll be dope asking you, because you participated in multiple elements. So we all know that back in the day, right? Everybody kind of dabbled in everything a little bit. Almost everybody had a hand style, even if you weren't a writer. Like your shit was fresh. Like you still wrote your shit kind of dope. And you would think somebody was a writer, like, no, I don't even write. A lot of people MC'd, produced, and then you kind of found your lane. Some people realized they weren't the best dancers. Like, I can't fuck with this. Some people realized, this is what I need. For me, it was the b-boying. For some people, it was the writing, everything. You know what it is. So we all kind of did everything. And you would go to a jam, and people just, all of the elements kind of respected each other. It was just like because everyone was doing everything. When and why did it go sideways, in your opinion? And go whether, because they're now operating in different, there's 4 individual lanes almost, if you will.
I hope this answers the question, but I'm gonna go in detail with it. For me, you know, they talk about hip hop they talk about hip hop is particularly with rap. They talk about eras, generations. For me, the best generation, the best era in hip hop, for me, and I speak on it passionately, and I'm adamant with it. This is me. The best era in hip hop was 1986 to 1996. Anything that came after 1996 is when hip hop went down, when rap went down.
Wow. I only say wow because that's the exact same time frame that I have. So,
And I never heard you. I never talked to you about this.
no, we haven't talked about this. No,
I never heard this before from you.
no,
But that's for me the time. 86, 96, after that, 97 to the dumps.
yeah. I mean, and of course, here's the thing. And so people, and this is what against me, not against me, but people will be like, what about this album? What about this album? Of course, there were albums out. Of course, there was underground shit. Yes. But as far as the shit as a whole, like that time period, yeah, I mean, I firmly agree, man. It's interesting. So it's not just, yeah, there were joints out. I mean, of course, there's dope joints that came out, 98, 99. The whole Raucous era was dope. At that time.
Right.
Company Flow. And that shit was later, you know what I'm saying? Can Ox and all that stuff. But like it was different then though. It was still different because you were dealing with more of the the money was involved and so shit went sideways and and I always say big up Alcatraz. Personally I do say I feel like Puffy was the start of that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I was going to say it. Hey, salute my bro Alcatraz. I love you, bro. Salute to you. Definitely. I was going to say that. I was just waiting for you to say your part.
Oh, dope.
So fact.
So it's all been, we can all it's unanimous as a motherfucker. Like word.
It's a fact.
Puffy.
He ruined it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I noticed about that whole movement. And again, it's like in this time. It's kind of quote unquote like sacrilegious if you say something about, Bad Boy and Biggie and all that. Listen, man. And that's why I rock with you, because you keep it 1,000. Like when you be going in on certain people, I be wanting to comment, but I fall back and I just listen. But this is what he did. He flipped the script. When you know why we received NWA so much? Because Dre was intelligent enough to know that New York dudes is not going to listen if we come with this sound that they doing over here. We got to do the sound that they doing in New York. So the whole Straight Outta Compton album, if you look at the production, is basically New York-based production. And that's why we gravitated to it. What Puffy did was the flip. He took West Coast-based style funk and production so that they could gravitate to that over there, which was to compete with the West because they was the ones dominating the charts at that time. It don't take rocket science to figure it out, but people gonna argue based on their emotion and their personal preference, and again, they want to call it sacrilegious or whatever.
I'll take it a step further. He ruined Biggie, in my opinion. And
Absolutely.
If we look at Biggie's first album, which even I wasn't even really feeling juicy like that. I mean,
right.
It was already, and there's a dope documentary out. Everybody should check it out. It's called Crazy Like That Glue. And it's actually about Craig Mack, but it talks a lot about Puffy's snakery, serpentry shit in there too, and how he was like running things. So he had Biggie under his thumb, man. Like Biggie owed him like everything. So of course he gonna sing and dance. And Biggie's career, he was already moving in that direction of that, like. There was a lot of, and people don't like big. Yo, come on, man. But by that second joint, there was a lot of like, oh man, niggas dancing in the back, like whack dancing. I mean, like shiny suit bopping. Puffy's all of a sudden a producer. Don't get me started, man. That to me, I've done videos on it and gotten killed for it. Like, yo, this cat is he was a big part of the start of the downfall of the music part of it.
Absolutely. I agree 1,000%. I got stories about him too, but I'll tell you in private.
Yeah, it was good for you. See, listen, you're an artist, man. I mean, you got to move. I understand. My artist friends got to move differently. I mean, I get it. I get it. So that's why I'm here, because I don't have to move. I mean,
right.
I don't rap. Like, people just want to, I smoke an L and just say my shit and keep it pushing. So, you know what I mean? So okay, so that's kind of where shit went. So how can we get it? Is there anything we can get it back? Do to get it back? Anything? Yeah, you laugh.
I think what you're doing is a firm foot forward into getting it back on track, because it's not just you. I see other people doing the same thing, that express your same sentiments, that say the same things that's on your mind. There's a lot of us that think the same way. Some are afraid to say it, like you said, because they're artists and they don't want to jeopardize their whatever. At this point in my career, bro, I'll talk about whatever. I don't care, because what you gonna do to me that hasn't been done already? That, you know what I'm saying? That you can further stump anything from growth. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I think dudes our age need to get out of the mind frame of still trying to behave and act like they back in the 90s in regards to the mentality, like trying to fit in and trying to, you know, can't beat them, join them mentality. I think that's what really puts a stump on the progression of what people like myself and other people are trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Which they're trying to come up with a term, I guess, calling it contemporary hip hop. Like,
what?
Yeah, for older rappers, contemporary hip hop.
Word?
Yeah. I've heard it a few times. Contemporary hip hop.
They can eat a dick. They can eat a dick. Fuck them contemporary asses. They can shove it up their contemporary assholes. Fuck them.
I agree.
So I
agree.
You just gave me some content for a video tomorrow. Contemporary hip. What the fuck is contemporary?
Yeah. I'm sure people that's in here right now, they had to have heard that before. That's a thing. They're calling it contemporary hip hop.
Fuck out of here, man. Yeah, I'm hot right now, B. Like, what? Hold on. I got the computer. What the fuck is? I mean, I believe you. I just need to. I need to see this fuckery for my own eyes, man. Contemporary. It better not come up like all easy in the fucking Google shit either. Damn, it did come up all easy in the Google shit. Oh, what? Fuck out of here.
Right.
This is some.
Right.
This is urban contemporary hip hop. This is some ass juice, man. Mature. Fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yo, but what? I don't even know. You just threw the whole show off with that shit, man. Like, I can't even. Like, I'm like disturbed in my brain right now, B.
Yeah, man.
More fuckery. See, this is more watering down, more shifting the history to some other shit. That, like, more pushing the history out of the forefront, and like the what are we on? Rock, contemporary hip hop? What the fuck does that mean?
Right. What? What it does, it puts older MCs in a box.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, because here's the thing, yo. This is not football where, like, because people act like when the older MCs are good, it's like a big deal. It shouldn't be a big deal. You should be better if you're older. This isn't football where your legs breaking down, you're tearing ACLs and shit. Like, you should be nice as hell by 50 because you've gotten more life experiences, more shit to talk about. Your vocabulary should be way more extensive than it was when you were 20 and just fucking cursing the whole time. Of course it should be better. So that should be the standard. The older shit should be the standard. Niggas, G-Rap at 55, my G, should
the illest.
Black Thought, he's content. He will.
Right.
We go inside. That ain't right.
My sentiments exactly, bro. How can wine get better with time, but it don't apply to MCs?
And people do say hip hop's a young man's game, and we're the only genre. I look at the music where we look at the elders as trash. They don't do that in like the hard rock shit. The motherfuckers be touring until like 70, 80, packing out stadiums, B.
I say it all the time, and they get called icons.
Icons. We get you get past 30, and niggas calling you washed and shit. Like acting like you like in the fucking senior home. Right. Well, we treat our elders like shit, man. I will say that. We act like as soon as you
It's a fact. It's true. It's
Black
true.
Better now than he was.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely. Yep. I agree. And like you said, with G-Rap and so many others, man, from that era that they to this day that's still getting busy. Like, come on, man.
Dookie juice, man. That's what it is. We're gonna talk about it.
That generation against this generation, by far, that generation will wipe them out.
Of
Landslide.
Of course. Of course. I always talk about it when somebody brings up XYZ rapper from right now. I'm like, okay, are they better? I mean, they bring up Kendrick or they bring up J. Cole or somebody. They're all right. But like, I'm like, yo, they better than I mean, I just go through a list of names and it's like, no. Better than Sean P. No.
Right.
Better than no. Fuck out of here. No.
Yep. That's a fact.
Like, no. Like, no. So, like, yo, Granddaddy IU, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Granddaddy IU, the legend.
He said it best in our last build. This was last month. He said, I said, what you listening to now? Anything new? He's like, nope, nothing. And I said, why? He explained. He's like, yo, he was like, it's the same shit. He goes, we already did that shit. It's already been done. He goes, a lot of it's already been done. He goes, how you going to out gangster G-Rap? Like, right. G-Rap. Like, he goes, I've heard G-Rap. He goes, he is that. Like, so how you going to even be better? How you going to take it? He goes, some of these cats, they're good. He's like, but they're not saying anything or doing anything. He goes, it hasn't been done by masters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, we got a few minutes. I want to get into this question. So, my honeymoon's coming up, and we're going to Puerto Rico.
Nice.
And I'm very excited. And
congratulations, by the way, both of y'all, man. Dope.
Thank you. No, I appreciate you, brother. So we're going to Puerto Rico, and on your page, in your bio, it says Puerto Ricans are black, and so I think I made Bobito Ross is in here. So can you elaborate on that? Salute everybody. Can you elaborate and talk about that, please?
Puerto Ricans are no different from Black Americans. Same people, just conquered by different colonizers. One spoke English, one spoke Spanish. You could pass for a Puerto Rican. You're a light-skinned black man. You can pass for a Puerto Rican.
When I worked in New Haven, when I was in New Haven, lady would speak to me in Spanish. I grew up around Puerto Ricans, but ladies would speak to me in Spanish. I was like, I don't speak Spanish. And she was like, she kept not speaking in Spanish. I was like, I don't speak Spanish. She said, you mean to tell me you're Puerto Rican and don't speak Spanish? I'm like, I'm not Puerto Rican. She goes, you're Dominican then. I was like, I'm not Dominican either. She goes, yes, you are. I was like, no, I'm not. She goes, yes, you are. I was like, lady, I'm black. She's like, no, you're not. She got pissed and walked away. So I get it.
Yeah.
So
is that?
I just wanted, that was a funny little tidbit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I actually had it and I don't have it anymore. I lost it along the way through moves and stuff. I had a definition from a very old dictionary. Listen, when it comes to knowledge, I'm a geek. I'm a nerd, and I take pride in that. Like, I'm a Bible nerd. I'm a historian nerd. I'm a geek. Like, this is what I live, breathe. I'd rather talk about that than anything any day of the week. Let me show you something real quick.
All right.
2 seconds.
St. Ivan. Terrible. He raps about God, and it's hard.
Like, for instance, like, I collect books. Like, I love this joint. This dictionary right here, 1828. There's so much information in here. You know what I'm saying? But I had an older definition of the word or the phrase Puerto Rican. And when you look it up, it says a Spanish-speaking Negro. It's just the indoctrination of what's done by the people that run the world, the elites that run the world. You see all the glamour, glitz and people of status to be one complexion, and then the people that's the degenerates and the criminal element, the darker complexion. So if you light skinned, you want to gravitate to that. Yeah. You don't want to gravitate to the one that's being pointed out as the degenerate or the criminal element, right?
Right.
And this is where this is where all the colorism and all that stuff comes into play. So, yeah, Puerto Ricans are black, man, whether they accept it or not, believe it or not. I don't care if your hair's straight, it don't matter. You got mad. There's so many black folks that have straight hair. It's not about features. You can't say, oh, because of the lips or you got a broad nose. You got black folks with my features. I don't have the broadest nose or the thickest lips, but, you know.
Right. Yeah, everyone told me, oh, I got a white boy nose. So I get it, yo. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the more like, it's just a nose, but I get it. But yeah,
right.
So, and what's crazy about it within, like, so my daughter's half Puerto Rican and like grew up, Hartford, Connecticut has like tons of Puerto Ricans in my whole area where I grew up. So Connecticut in general, but like within that community though, within that shit, I've seen like, just like within black folks, like feeling ill towards light-skinned cats or whatever, like darker skin. I've seen it within, with Puerto Ricans. And I'm like, damn, we all fucked up. You don't get it. We all fucked up.
Right. like, and it's like that on the island too. It's like that in PR too. There's a section where it's predominantly like dark skin and they get treated a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's the same everywhere, man. We the same people in the same conditions, just conquered by different colonizers. That's all.
You proud of one colonizer? Like, oh, we got this. It's the same shit.
Right.
Right. Like, you got the sheriff, they got the other department. Like, whatever. Like, you still fucked up. Shit is great. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm going there and I'm gonna check. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Check into the. I've been really researching the. How you say it? Taino Indians. Yeah, I'm gonna go check some stuff out there. That's been pretty intriguing. But about that, yeah, Porter. And the thing, like if you look at baseball, the Major League Baseball, you can't tell who you think. Look, most of these cats are like brothers from New York. You know what I'm saying? And they're Dominican, Puerto Rican, or whatever, Venezuelan, all that shit. Like people don't understand, yeah.
Some of the greats were Puerto Rican, and people didn't know that.
Right. We're mixed people, everyone, every shade. Yeah.
Yeah, Alcatraz could go heavy into that. He loved talking that topic all day.
No, I think it's an important topic. In terms of just at least people having a general understanding of it. What you do with it, if you don't believe it, then all right, whatever. But it's a fact. I don't know. Nobody really wants to be black, so it's kind of nobody's really signing up to be black these days. Like, oh, I want to be black. I'm black, so you kind of stuck with it, but nobody's like getting in line, unfortunately. Yo, I wanted to get back to the music because about a few months ago you told me that you were kind of discouraged with the whole shit that you wanted to. You was like, yeah, I might not even fuck with this no more. And the other day, recently, you told me that you were feeling rejuvenated. So, what changed?
I think that's something that all of us go through as artists, especially when you've been doing it for certain amounts of time. I'm not no spring chicken. I've been doing this since I was 17. I'm 48 now. I have a lot of history in music. I've been around a lot of people, been a lot of places, and sometimes you get, I don't know, maybe it might be, you get a writer's block, and then you just start, because so many other things is going on in life. You got to take care of responsibilities first and foremost, family, children, bills, and you get so caught up in that. Like, being a rapper is like putting on a damn costume. Like, you're gonna do a video, you gotta put something on nobody's seen before. You gotta have the fresh cut, the shape up, and it's a costume. Like, because when you finish rapping the video and it's done, cut, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta get up at 4 in the morning. Right? So it's really like a costume. Don't listen. I'm grateful for my little 5, 6, 7 sales. But that don't pay the bills. I'm thankful for my little 10, 15 fans that give me thumbs up and stuff. I appreciate it. But I gotta pay bills, so I work a job. And if I don't get paid as I would like to, as a lot of artists would like to get paid off of their craft, that has nothing to do with hustle. It has to do with people's taste, because music is subjective. Like you can't definitively say that this dude is trash or this dude is just garbage. I'm talking about from music that we like.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the stuff that you be pulling up on and be like, that shit is trash. Yeah. That is trash. I'm talking about like the dudes that we look up to, that we listen to, and so forth. You know what I mean? So I guess it comes from that, like, but then you have a streak, like a beat will come and be like, oh, damn, and you start inking and it just flow out of you. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, yeah, I'm back. I'm rejuvenated. I feel good. And you hope like this might be the one that break and everybody gravitate to and be like, you know what? I'm going to buy this joint because it's solid. And sometimes it does take, sadly, it does take a solid cosign.
Yeah. It does.
Anybody, one thing I hate when somebody says that they're self-made. You're a liar. There's nobody self-made.
Just talked about it. No.
Nobody is self-made. Everybody needs somebody.
Everybody's had help.
Everybody needs somebody. Nobody's self-made, especially with music. You know that you have a skill. You know that you get busy. You have a talent. It takes somebody with a talent that's already of a stature to say, you know what? Yo, this nigga get busy. Let me post this joint. A lot of times people won't do that because they feel threatened and they know that they don't have no way of capitalizing off of the cosign. Because somebody could a legend could cosign me. Say, name your biggest legend, could cosign me and tell me and say, yo, this dude is dope. You got to check for him. That don't mean I'm going to idol worship you. I'm not going to sweat you, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be hugging your nuts and following you. And I'm not going to be doing none of that. You got the wrong one with that. Yeah. So if you see you can't capitalize over that, why would you co-sign me? Why would you even, you know what I'm saying, allow me to have some type of acknowledgement based on your status? You feel me? So
no. Of course. I mean, why would you? Not in this industry, man. I mean, like, snakes and cutthroat. It's cutthroat. No, of course not. Nobody's going to give you a leg. I mean, and that's why the good people in this industry stick out like sore thumbs. You probably know that already. They stick out. Like the ones that look out and are just honest and pay on time and just straight up about business and just take care of problems once they occur. Like those people are few and far between, man. They are.
Yeah. They
are. On the promoter level, the media level, the rap level. The fucking sound niggas is trash sometimes. Everybody's got their hands out. Fucking greedy fucks, man. This shit is cutthroat. You know?
And I hate to see it enter the realm of what we call the underground. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anywhere it could be an even playing field, it should be there. And then you start to see the favoritism and the bull, you know, in that realm as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this is my man, I'm going to play all his stuff. That's why I said that. If I don't make your playlist, a dog ass go kiss.
Right.
That's why I said that. You're not, and I'm going to tell you something, and this is not for bragging or nothing like that. That's kind of like a deterrent too. Like when I hear you say you got to constantly post, and I agree 1000%. I don't want to enter the realm of like being arrogant. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that comes with the territory. Sadly, with hip hop, it's a bravado. You got to brag about like, I'm that nigga. I'm the one.
Right.
You have to do that. And I just got tired of it. Like you should be able to hear the skill for yourself and know that, yo, he gets busy.
Right.
So with that being said, I spoke to him and the brother gave me the green light and said, go ahead. Shout out to the big bro Speech from Arrested Development. I got a song with him on his project, a new Arrested Development project coming out.
Oh, dope.
May 2023. And that's not for me following him or like he reached out to me. You know what I'm saying? Reached out to me and was like, yo, dog, I've been watching you, whatever.
Dope.
Was good. I want you on this project. Sent me.
Yeah, you know, I want to get cut off. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, so go ahead. 'Cause Instagram cuts me off in like 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes.
No, I got you.
No, good.
Sent me the track for me to feature on. Did my thing, solidified straight, waiting for it to be released. Shout out to Speech from Arrested Development for showing love to the kid. And it's a Grammy winning. That's a Grammy Award winning group, 2-time Grammy Award winning group. You know what I'm saying? Best hip hop album of the year, best hip hop group, 1993. You can't front on them. Whether it was something that we people in the street gravitated to or not, there's no denying that Speech gets busy. Like, he got bars. You know what I'm saying? And you know, to reach out to me and show the love, I can't. There's nothing better than that. So that lets me know that people are watching, but there's only few that will open the door and be like, you know what, come inside, man. I'm gonna give you an opportunity.
That's dope. That's dope. That's what's up, yo. And you can't. And they did their thing, man. And I like them. I mean, I fuck with them. I mean, they were solid. I mean, that was a different mood. I mean, hip hop has many variations. It's not just one thing. So that's what was dope about it. You had your De La, you had your NWA, you had your X-Clan, Public Enemy, all in the same bill. Run DMC. You had all that shit. So gotta get ready to go. I don't want to get you cut off. Instagram cuts me off. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
This was fun, man. We're going to do it again. And salute to everybody joining in. We're going to get this up. St. Ivan, he's terrible. He's not. He's really a very nice guy. So he dropped that terrible shit. He's not terrible. He's super dope. And so fuck with him.
Thank you, bro.
We go live with our people. Save the hip-hop culture for the after party right after this. We're going to be talking Granddaddy IU for the first half hour. So come on through if you're still fucking burning L's. I got to roll up an L. So salute.
I'm here, bro. Thank you, man. God bless. Peace to you, and salute, man.
All right, man.
Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Peace.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'll be good.